Hello everyone and welcome back to the Baton Rouge Bats Dynasty. We are finally here in the regular season and I am excited to hop in and finally get on the sticks with this team. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into recruiting so that we can go ahead and get to week one. Our second biggest recruit on our board, Dalton Ivory, still looking good. We're about halfway on him. Gonna keep just the scholarship because it seems like we still have a lot of interest gaining. Let's see, as well as Cordell Shakir is still doing good with just the scholarships. I'm going to leave that be. Let's move down to Warren Stevens. Check out how we're doing on his board. We're still at number one, but Ohio is slowly creeping up. So I think I'm going to go on his Instagram and check out if he has any baddies just chilling over there. Next up, we have one of our main needs for offense, and that is Frederick Brutus, tight end. Let's go ahead. We've definitely fallen to 4, but let's see what we can do for him. We haven't thrown a scholarship on him, and honestly, I don't think I will for him because he has 70 speed as well as 67 short route and 61 run block. I may just go ahead and look for a different tight end prospect since Angers didn't work out. And the main need for offense is 100% offensive line, moving over to Sergio, which nobody's really moved up on his board. He is an offensive lineman with raw strength, which of course is what we are needing for this team. He comes in with 82 strength, so I'm definitely going to throw him a scholarship. That should boost us up, if not in the first, definitely in the second. But I feel like we can definitely beat out LA Tech later through the year. Sticking with the offensive line, we have Caucus? You know what? I'm going to call him Caucus because, hey, nobody can cook us, all right? So, let's see. We're in a pretty tight battle right now. I'm just going to, once again, throw a scholarship over to him. Hopefully that'll boost us up on that board, not using a lot of hours. Now a big one that we have fell on is Fielder. And Fielder I'm definitely going to give a scholarship to with a raw strength athlete. I haven't even scouted him that I've just noticed. Let's go ahead and check him out. He is from Lafayette, Louisiana, so already I'm wanting to push for our homegrown kid. Let's see. He has 82 strength, which is beautiful. Pass block and run block, not the best, but he can easily level up for us. And rounding out the offensive line, we are going to go over to the guards, which it does seem like Coach Reed has been struggling a lot with that, and no exception for Ronald Mix. Hopefully because we threw a scholarship on him, that will bump us up to first, if not second place, but I feel like we can win the fight in the long run. Moving on to Tunyon, which once again we went through a scholarship because he is our favorite archetype with that raw strength. Being at an 81 strength as a freshman, we definitely want to try and win this battle. Hopefully pushing up above UMass, if not having a recruiting battle in the end. Moving on down to Coach Reed's favorite, and that is defense. More specifically, right now we are on the defensive tackles with Clyde Grimes. We fell down to third spot even with the scholarship, so I'm going to go ahead and try to search that social media, seeing if that bumps us up a little bit. If not, first place, at least second, so we can know we can still fight for this man. Moving on to Miles Eufus, we are in first place. I'm going to let you stay where you are. Buffalo's kind of nowhere near us being in that second spot. Now, moving on to the creme de la creme, we got Deshaun Hopes. We are still number one on his board, but it is close, so I went ahead and DM'd them, letting us know that we are interested in him, and we want him to make his way over to the Baton Rouge Bats. Moving to one of our main team needs, which is strong safety, we have Tobias Roberts, which we've dropped all the way down to 7th place. So I went ahead and threw a scholarship on him just from the kid being from Thibodaux, Louisiana. And then he does have a lot of upside, like 81 speed, 80 acceleration, 78 change of direction. It does seem like mainly all of his skill stats are phenomenal. So if we can get his coverage stats up, he should be a very good safety for us. Tyler Turk over on special teams, we are number one. I'm just going to keep it with that scholarship and let that ride out. Unless anything starts to phase us, then I'll start to DM him, maybe search his social media. Who knows? And same goes for Jalen Draft. We did not move up on him. We stayed at number one, but it is a very close race with us and Arkansas State. We did throw a scholarship, and that's what boosted us. So just in case Arkansas State does want to throw a scholarship, I'm just going to look through Draft's social media, see if I find anything interesting in there. Maybe he'll go ahead and commit right then and there. Going back to safeties, we have Mike Lowry's brother, Kenyon Lowry, and we threw a scholarship on him already, moving us up to first, so I'm going to let that stay there and just kind of ride that out until we need to do any more. Same going for Vi Choi. I went ahead and actually scouted them as well as threw a scholarship on since I saw that LA Tech and the Pirates did as well. His stats aren't crazy, but what is nice is 85 strength, 79 acceleration, 76 tackle, 76 power move, 77 hit power. I don't know how he's not a gym. It definitely seems like he can develop into an all-star player coming out of Shreveport, Louisiana. Heading over to Jamal Figures, we've dropped down to 6th place, so I went through a scholarship, seeing if that could just move us on top of Kent State, if not underneath. We do need to go ahead and get another guard because of James Woods leaving, as well as Angers, our tight end prospect that we had. And adding the tight end and guard that we needed, we ended up getting Deshaun Anger back on our board because honestly, he was the best tight end available. Even though he was the bust, I still need someone at that position, so I put him back on, especially with us already being at number 1 through a scholarship on, should solidify us for Deshaun. Moving over to the guard, we got Dion Creed now on the board, a well-rounded archetype. Went ahead and threw a scholarship on him as well. Let's finish scouting him. Nothing that stands out, but we definitely need us some guards, so the more the merrier. And that rounds up the recruiting board for week 0. Let's go ahead and sim the week and get down to business versus LSU. Moving on to our weekly advanced summary for week 0, we are still number 1 riding high with Deshaun Hopes. Still battling with the Pirates, but hopefully we can push our way through now that he is in the top 5. As well as Mike Caucus, we are staying number 1 by a long shot it looks like, with Toledo nowhere near. Fielder, we still did drop down to number 3 behind LA Tech and the Raging Cajuns, but we do end up playing the Raging Cajuns later on in the year, so maybe if we can stay with him, we can figure out a way to move on up. Speaking of moving up, we did do that like we wanted to for Malik Jeffrey, moving up to the number 2 spot behind Ball State, followed by Jalen Draft, still number 1 on his board by a long shot, and Dion Creed, the person we just added to our prospect board. We are running away, beating out NIU and Buffalo right now. Hopefully we can keep that trend going. And there it is, our week 1 game, the rivalry between us and LSU in the first ever rivalry game for the Battle of Baton Rouge. In this 2025 inaugural kickoff for the Baton Rouge Bats, the overalls couldn't be any more one-sided, with the Bats being at 57 and the LSU Tigers at 89 overall, ranked 8th in the nation. Our Bayou Knights uniform, unveiling that for the first time ever in our first kickoff game. Look at how nice these things look. Woo! Can't wait to see it on the field. Here they come out of the tunnel, the Baton Rouge Bats. Where the hell is the Bayou Knights? Doesn't matter what we're wearing, we're still going to put the beating on the Bayou Bengals. And starting this game, we have Dean Smith out here with the shaky screen. And Keontae Blue gets the first handoff and just nowhere to go with Whit Weeks. Already an injury from Tanner Matthews off ball. We're going to go ahead and substitute him in for Jaden Bowie. How in the world are you getting injured on the first play? I understand we're in the SEC right now, but you got to be better than that. Already 3rd and 14 on our first drive. Let's see if we can convert this and make our way down the field. Nowhere to go at all, but Dean Smith takes off running, no speed, and gets clobbered for a fumble. Oof, giving LSU the ball in great field position. Our first snap on defense, we're going to go ahead and use our Chase Freeman, the middle linebacker, who just gets locked up by the defensive line, already getting LSU down to 2nd and inches. All right, let's make this stop. We're blitzing. That's not good. And touchdown, LSU. This is definitely going to be a rough one. We're now back on offense. Let's see if we can go ahead and make a difference out of it. Oh, that throw was god-awful. But there was a flag for defensive pass interference, so that's going to go ahead and bail Dean Smith out. Depending on how this drive goes, it might be Dean Smith's last one because that first throw was just god-awful and his speed is just horrendous. Let's see how this goes. That was, nope. All right, Dean. You're going to the bench. Oh, we got a sack. Let's go. Deshaun Weeks with a sack. It is now 3rd and 14. We can potentially hold LSU to a field goal. Deshaun Weeks having a game already with 2 solo tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and a sack. Keep it going, my man. Now 3rd and 14. The Bats have a chance to stop LSU. And he almost got the pick, but he dropped it, holding LSU to a field goal. I would have never thought that. That is a great sign already out of the Baton Rouge Bats. Offense back on the field for their 3rd drive with a different QB under center. We now have Tobias Matthews, and we're using that momentum from the defensive stop, holding them to 3, and going to make it around the edge. Nothing. All right. Let's go ahead and see what his arm power is with. Oh, nope, we're going to take off. Oh, he's 10 times faster. Take off with him. Yes, sir, Tobias Matthews. That is the best play so far of the day. And that is the end of the first quarter. LSU 10, Baton Rouge Bats 0. Honestly, we're not doing as bad as I thought we would. We've held LSU to -4 rushing yards. That's a win in my book already. All right, defense, let's follow the momentum that we had on our last drive and try and stop LSU once more. Oh, laying the lumber with Chase Freeman on Caden Durham. There we go! Great stop! We have held LSU 2 drives in a row to field goals. Let's try and block this. Defense is playing lights out right now. We can't get the block, but he missed it! Let's go! Now with this momentum, we need to utilize our top player, Keontae Blue, in the running game. Just the offensive line cannot hold up for us. There we go. There we go. Don't get a pick. There you go. Let's go! First down in history. The first one goes to Trey Page. Great throw by Tobias Matthews, having 12 yards, and he is 2 for 2. You already secured your starting spot. And after all that momentum, it is 3rd and 11. We're going to try to throw a slip screen over to our contact seeker. And he doesn't even... What just happened? The pressure got to him, and he couldn't make anything happen. But we are on our 49-yard line, and defense is playing lights out. So why not go for this? Let's see what we can do. Nobody's open. Run upfield. Shit. We have now hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter, and they decided now to go for it. This is huge for us. Let's go ahead and try to make this stop. Oh, I saw it too late, and he almost scores on us. It is now 1st and goal, LSU. I was reading him the whole way. I left him. The safety couldn't get to him. Touchdown, LSU. It is now 17-0. We got Franklin O'Hare in at running back. Let's try to get this first down. Oh, part the Red Sea. He's going down. Let's go. Great run by Franklin O'Hare as his first. It is now 3rd and 9 with 20 seconds left on the clock. We need to convert this to at least get us a field goal. There we go. And that was just a horrible read by me. I was staring him down the entire way. Whit Weeks with the easiest pick he will ever have in his life. This is not looking too good for us to close out this first half. Garrett Nussmeier stepping up in the pocket? That is ridiculous. Damn, I knew I was rusty, but I have cost us this first half. That drive was going amazing, and we could have ended that with points on our side. Rather, now it's looking the other way, going towards LSU. Here we go! Block it! He missed it! He jumped too early! Wow! That would have been great to go into the locker room, but that's okay. We are only down 3 scores, and yeah, that's a lot, but I believe in the Bats. Coming back out on defense, we've got them down to a 2nd down. Oof. And here he goes. Caden Durham, don't do... Oh! What is this move? Oh! Oh, the Bats looking stupid right now. Caden Durham looks like he's finally waking up, and we do not need that. That will be a killer to this team. 2nd and 2. Here we go. Caden Durham once again with the pancake right for... Oh! The hit stick laying him out, but sadly he is at 1st and goal. LSU has pushed their way down the entire field. Now it is 1st and goal. And Caden Durham, I come back for him. Got him down. We can bend, but let's not break. The Bats need to hold them to another field goal attempt. Oh, it's a screen pass. We saw it, and we got him down. Here we go, 3rd and goal. Can we hold LSU to another field goal attempt? No, they do another screen pass. We see it, and yes! He gets him down, only getting 1 yard, and LSU's going for it. This will be the biggest stop of the game so far. They've had back-to-back screen passes. What will they do here? They just run it instantly. The blocks, but we're there! The Bats stopped them on 4th down. This is our time to make our way down the field. 98 yards. Shove it down their throat with the grit and the toughness that we have on this team. 2nd and 7. We're going to give it to Keontae Blue. Hopefully he can break off a nice run and get us going down the field. There we go. Oh, the blocks were not holding up. It is 3rd and 9 just like that. We are back in familiar territory, which we do not like this. We're going to try. There we go. Keontae Blue out of the backfield. He's getting the 1st down and much more. There we go. Shock option. Let's see. There we go. Right through the middle again. This time, about 20 yards. Let's freaking go. Tobias Matthews throwing dots, so we're going to keep it in his hand. Let's see where we can get on this one. Here we go. Wide open. I waited too long to throw it to him. That is all on me. You know, it was working for the LSU Tigers, getting Caden Durham going. Let's go ahead and get a slip screen, see if we can make our most out of this as well. There we go. Definitely getting the first on this one. Great blocks. 3rd and 18, 2 seconds left in the quarter. Let's go ahead and throw it to Keontae Blue. And Tobias, oh my. Tobias threw a perfect pass, and Keontae Blue let it go right through his hands. That was a freaking killer, but we are not going to let that get us down. We are going to go ahead and go for it on 4th and 18. You know what we can always rely on is 4 frickin' verts. Now it is 4th and 23 after that ridiculous false start. And we're going to try to make the best out of this. I don't think any of our people can beat any LSU speed. There we go on the outside. Oh, the defensive line got to us. He was wide open. He had at least 2 steps on him. Back on defense once more. Y'all have been nothing but phenomenal this game. Yes, letting up 20 points, but that is to the LSU Tigers. Let's keep on going. While holding them to a 3rd and 10 right now, we need to hold them to a field goal attempt. There we go. That's all I asked for right there. It is 4th and 4. Are they going for it? No, they're doing another field goal attempt. Following that field goal attempt once more, our offense is going to go out in the field and try to score us some points. Tobias, there's no one open. There was nothing to do. And the fumble. LSU scoop and score. Oh, this is taking a turn for the worst. 2nd and 11. Let's see if a draw play can get him. There we go. Good little 7 yards, 6 yards. With Matthews being as cold as he is, we need to do small but easy completions, and I think a screen will be the best one for us. Going right to Ellis right here, and LSU just sought that out. It is 4th and 12. And I might have to sub another QB in for this throw. Almost 2 minutes left in the game. Dean Smith is subbed back in so he can try and make this throw with 4 verticals to get us the first. And he insta-sack. Harold Perkins and the Weeks brothers are having a day with our offensive line. All right, the Baton Rouge Bats defense doing what they do best, holding LSU to a 3rd down. We are blitzing the entire team on this one, expecting Caden Durham to get the ball, and that is not what happens. But we stopped them once again. Can the Bats stop LSU once more? Run commit the middle, get Caden Durham, and they do it with the hit stick. Let's go down the field and get the first points in Baton Rouge Bats history. Dean Smith's still in the game. We're going to try and air it out for a second and getting nothing out of this. But we got a 1st down going out of bounds. Perfect. Jackson Ellis has been carrying us in this 4th quarter. Dean Smith starting to redeem himself after those first 2 drives he went on. Let's see if Jackson Ellis can go ahead and break free. No, he does not, but he got rubbed. No. There it is, guys. That is the end of the game. LSU just sending us home. with a pick six. You know, if you would have told me the LSU Tigers would have beaten the Baton Rouge Bats by anything less than 60 points, I would have not believed you. You have a team at a 57 overall versus an 89 overall, ranked 8th in the nation. I think this was a win for the Bats. Not on the scoreboard, but in the locker room, we know that we can take on any opponent in our conference after fighting with the SEC's top dogs and kind of making it. Keontae's still putting the spins on him. So we actually held LSU scoreless in the third, which is a giant win. But sadly, we are now going to start the season 0-1, falling to LSU, losing our first battle of Baton Rouge. Let's go ahead and check out the player stats for the game. Starting, of course, with our quarterbacks, we had Tobias Matthews, 7 for 16, 72 yards, 43% completion rate, and Dean Smith, 4 for 8 for 33 yards and 50% completion rate. We did bench him because of his speed, because of these horrible throws he had in the beginning, but Tobias Matthews later on getting cold. Dean Smith kind of shined. So the battle, I think, is still kind of going forward. Moving over to the rushing game, we had Keontae Blue, our highest rated person on the team, with 8 attempts and only 6 yards to show of it. Tobias Matthews with negative 13 rushing yards because of all the sacks. But Franklin O'Hare, with only 2 carries, needs to go ahead and get more after this game, getting 17 yards off of those, averaging 5.5, which is amazing. Then going down to Jackson Ellis with just 1 carry for 6 yards. But of course, he honestly carried the entire team later on in the half, with the 5 receptions and 65 yards, averaging out with 13 a catch. Trey Page had a few catches as well, with 2 for 21, averaging 10.5, and Keontae Blue with 2 for 16. Foreman not doing much at all with that jet pass, as well as our tight end Elliott McDonald only getting 1 pass for 5 yards. Moving on to the defense, we have Noah Collins topping out the team in total tackles with 11, followed by Octavius Terrell with 8 tackles and 2 tackles for loss, and Terrell Pace with 6 total tackles himself. Sacks for the game, we had 1 sack, and it was an amazing sack to start the momentum. And of course, no interceptions or forced fumbles on the game, but defense played lights out, and I'm very proud of y'all. And that does it for the player stats. Let's go ahead and jump back to the hub and sim it over to week 2. Now moving over to our weekly advanced summary for week 2. What I'm seeing right now, I am loving. It is number 1 all across the board, and we are running away with every single prospect on this summary, except for Jamal Figures. We are in a tight race with only Kent State, which we should be able to beat out, especially with him being in his top 5 schools. We just need to keep pushing, and we will secure that prospect. And continuing the week 2 recap for recruiting, we are still number 1 on everyone's board, even our man Dalton Ivory, which I like to see. But Frederick Brutus, our tight end we have been eyeing since day 1, has hit us with a deal breaker, so sadly he will be removed from our board. Like I mentioned, still number 1 on most people. Rashard Fielder, I went ahead and DM'd him as well to kind of boost us up since we fell down to that 3rd spot, as well as Ronald Mix. He also got a DM from Coach Reed, letting him know that we are very interested. The biggest piece of news from week 2 is us falling down to the number 2 spot for Deshaun Hopes. We are DMing him as well, just maybe trying to get us that push. If not, we are going to have to send the house and fast with him already being in his top 5. Last but not least, out with the old and in with the new. Since Brutus is now gone, we got Julius Peppers, what a legendary name, on our recruiting board. He already has interest in us being at the 3rd spot, so I went and threw a scholarship, which should push us above Arkansas State and Purdue since no one has offered this kid yet. That does it for our bye week. Let's jump into week 3 versus the Rocket City freaking Rebels. Once again, a weekly advanced summary that I like to see. We are number 1 on all 5 of these prospects right now, and they would all be great hits for us to have, especially my man on the right edge. Going into week 3 of the recruiting board, we moved 1 spot on Dalton Ivory underneath the ULL after they scheduled their visit, but we will go ahead and schedule ours as well for week 7 versus New Mexico State. I feel like that'll be an easier game to win, especially with our overalls, and Sam Houston just doesn't seem doable. So we're going to go New Mexico State week 7. Hopefully can secure the deal with Dalton Ivory. Where's playing style? Playing style. Here we go, man. Playing time. Oof. Yeah, do that. Looking pretty good on everyone else's board. Moving on. Looking pretty good for everyone else, mostly, except for Shard Fielder, still giving us a little bit of feedback. So we're going to schedule a visit with him. No, we can't schedule a visit yet. Looking pretty good on all of our other prospects. Rashard Fielder is still giving us a little bit of rough time, but being that he is only in the top 8, I'm going to let it be since we're sitting up at 3. Fuck it, stutter, but I'm going to keep that. Deshaun, making our way down due to Sean Hopes, our gym that we are really, really wanting from Mandeville, Louisiana. Still slipping down to that 2 spot, not moving much. But I should be able, yes, we are able to schedule a visit, and we once again are going to schedule for New Mexico State, being a team that we think we can put the whooping on to try and secure these prospects. And you will also. You good, dude? Damn.
You gave me an answer.
Huh?
You gave me an answer.
Okay. Last but certainly not least on the board, we are going to move down to a familiar name I've mentioned, and that is Jamal Figures. I think we are going to go ahead and part ways, being that we cannot move up, and we've already put in more than enough on a guy that we don't really need. With that being said, I went out and found a replacement that is 10 times better. We got Marquise Clay out of Mandeville, Louisiana, an elusive bruiser, which I feel like we would use a lot more, especially in our scheme. 6 foot, 203 pound. Look at these stats. Starting out, we have 80 speed, 84 acceleration, 80 carrying, 82 break tackle. With 72 ball carrier vision, this guy seems like a work of art for us, and that is what we need at the running back position. Because of that, I did notice. So, to go ahead and show that we need him, I went and submitted a scholarship offer for Marquise Clay, seeing that no other team has. And with us already being in third place, this should easily shoot us up to that #1 spot. Finally, with recruiting out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into our Week 3 game versus the Rocket City Rebels. I did mess with the team settings, pushing us over to a run and shoot instead of a pro style, just because I wanted to see how this gels with the team. The pro style, they aren't really ready for that. So maybe this run and shoot type of offense can more fit Dean Smith or even Tobias Matthews. And here we are in downtown Baton Rouge, over at the Batcave for the first time ever. We are getting the ball to start this game. Highlighting our top-rated player, Keontae Blue, who will hopefully have a game today since he was not able to last time. Dean Smith once again coming out as a starter for the Baton Rouge Bats, being that he redeemed himself later in the fourth. But that's not who we're going to start this off to. We're giving it to Jackson Ellis, the man himself who carried us, and he goes and brings it for an 8-yard gain. All right, Dean, let's see how you get. Oh, hit the bubble. There we go. Spin. Woo! Look at Paige doing his thing. All right, the draw worked for us last game. Let's see what we can do with it here. There we go. Follow your blocks. Woo! Easy first down. Jackson Ellis once again already got 2 carries for 21 yards. There we go. Page gets it. He got it. First and goal, Baton Rouge. There you go, Dean, with the pass, and Trey Page just climbing the ladder, taking the hit, and getting down at the 2 freaking yard line. Let's go. Now at third and goal on our own 7. We have not been able to make anything happen past those few run plays. Hopefully Dean Smith can go ahead and connect for our first ever touchdown in Baton Rouge Bats history. Come on. He gets it. He takes him off. Down back to the 2-yard line, and I think we just take the points here, getting the first points ever in history. There we go. 3 points on the board. Baton Rouge Bats on top. We used up the entire first quarter for our drive, but we came away with points, and that's all that matters. Us going on defense for the first time. We need to keep the same energy and bring the same toughness that we showed LSU. Here we go, 3rd and 7. Watching the middle of the field. He's stepping up. Hit him! Defense doing what they do best, getting us the ball back. Already a chance to get up by 2 possessions in this game. Here is our first half stats. We have 51 passing yards, 22 rushing, averaging 6 yards per play. That's pretty good. I mean, we are doing it versus the freaking Rocket City Rebels, but progress is progress. I am loving the feedback from the fans, the feeling that we're having on this field in downtown Baton Rouge. It is just all around. Whew, that was close. The corner route, wide open. He gets the catch, first down Bats. Okay, got the screen off, barely. There he goes. With the spin. Ooh, injury timeout, Dean Smith. I mean, he looks pretty good to me. Tobias Matthews now subbed into the red zone with Keontae Blue in the backfield. Let's go ahead and just throw a dot first play. Got it. That's it. First touchdown in Baton Rouge frickin' Bats history. Tobias Matthews throws a dot over the head of the defender for a touchdown. Look at that duck. This no huddle offense is aggravating, but very, very easy. All right, pick. Oh, sack. That's what that is. Taj Coles with his first sack. 3rd and 12. He's definitely passing on this one. Watch him. At the 2-minute warning, the Rebels have slowly made their way down to the field, converting on 2 third downs already. We need to get this stop. Here we go. Great defense. Sack number 2 in the books. 2nd and 14 after that sack. Got an RPO. That's pick. Let's go! Diving interception on the sideline. Making history over and over. First pick in Baton Rouge Bats history. What a play by Noah Collins. Tracking down the receiver, jumping full 360, and getting that ball Beckham style. Great first turnover for this team. Oh shit, riding high with the momentum. Dean is coming back into the game, barely having any energy or stamina, but he sees Carmine Green once again, lets the ball go. He gets it! Carmine is heading down to the end zone for the 2nd time this game. Let's freaking go. And that does it for the first half. The Bats up 17-0. Carmine Green, of course, being the player spotlight with 3 targets, 2 catches, and 2 freaking touchdowns for 88 yards. You are having a day, my man. Look at Dean Smith backing up in the pocket and throwing a dime for that touchdown. Ooh! Coming out for the second half. We started with the freaking sack! We have another sack on the day. Jerry and Love now with his 2nd. 3rd and 9 on the opening drive for the Rebels. Can we finally get a stop on 3rd? And we do. We get our 5th sack of the game. Jerry and Love with 3 by him freaking self. And this is not what I like to see. Noah Collins going out with an injury. Yes, it's an ankle bruise, and he will return soon, but I don't want any of his stats affected. Dean Smith still out on the field, not letting his spot getting taken by Tobias Matthews. It is now 3rd and 5 on our opening drive after half. Let's go ahead and try and make this conversion. There we go. Easy one. Make the pass. Got it. Okay. Oh, that's it. Great. No! That is a pick six. Oh. I can't tell if that was a bad ball for Dean Smith or if... oh, he tracks him down! Keontae Blue with the DK Metcalf tackle. And now we like to see they're knocking on the red zone because of that horrible interception. But I'm going to get one of my own. Chase Freeman! How in the hell? What? The Rebels with a phenomenal catch for the touchdown, silencing not only me, but this Bats crowd. Following that interception, Dean Smith comes back out and he already sees press coverage. Let's go ahead and make this happen. Carmine's going to beat his guy. He does. He has a step on him. He gets the ball, and he's making his way down in the end zone. Easy. Carmine Green. Hit the gritty on him, my man. Oh, yeah. We can do that too. The Rebels once again being held to third down. And we get another sack. What is that, 6 or 7 on the day? And it was Jerry Love again with 4 freaking sacks. And I did just realize I never showed you, I am playing on Heisman difficulty. It is going to stay like that until the Dynasty dies out. Dean's been making some crazy good passes. Carmine Green's been getting open. Let's try to give it to our star player, Keontae Blue. See if we can get something going for once. Here we go. Easy first down from Keontae. Dean's hot right now, but I really am trying to get Keontae just popping off. And it just does not seem to happen, especially with the hit stick from that linebacker. The Rebels holding us to a 4th down, and I was going to kick the ball once more, but shit. We're down here. We had the momentum. We're going to try this out. No, he doesn't. Oh, God. And after a pretty bad 4th down conversion, the Rebels back with the ball. No worries. We have a very good cushion as far as the lead, and we are playing some phenomenal defense. 4th quarter is finally here. We have 302 passing yards, only 33 rushing yards. We need to get our running game going, especially for these bigger schools we're facing later on. But for now, I am nothing but happy about this scoreboard. Still feeling that Chase Freeman pick. Not sure when or where, but it's right here. It's right here. Oh, another sack of the day. Jay and Love with 5. Here it is. Another pass. Is it the pick? It was nothing. It was just great coverage sack, and I believe that's 8 or 9 on the day. 3rd and 13. Not only are we beating up on this team, but we are beating up on their players. I believe that was their QB that just got injured. And this is it. They are going for it on 4th down every time. We just have to make these stops. We know they're passing it. Can we stop it? No! He broke the tackle and is heading for the end zone. There was a horrible pass into double coverage, but Jericho just takes it away from both of us. Looking like Keenan Allen making his way down the field. This game's looking a little different now. Only up by 10. We needed to go ahead and extend this lead with Keontae finally getting his best run of the game for about 15 yards. Let's keep it in his hands. There we go. There we go. Coach Reed is loving this, and we are not ending it now. Let's hand it off to him one more time and get into the end zone. Down to the 2-yard line. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's get in there. Easy. Keontae Blue, and he's hitting the hometown favorite, the Gritty. Hitting the 2-minute warning, this game is nothing but over. The Rebels are trying to make their way over to the end zone. We just can't let that happen. Oh, getting the nice stop. 3rd and 5. I am sending all the bats their way. There we go, making our stop. 4th and 6. It's a pass. And another sack. That is 9 sacks on the day. Injuring the QB once more. Giving the ball over to the Baton Rouge Bats. That sack went over to a familiar name from last week, Deshaun Weeks, getting another sack. That is back-to-back games with 1 sack as we throw the bubble screen over to Trey Page. We got the ball with 1:14 left. I am not bowing down, and we are trying to put some more points on the board as Blue breaks another tackle. Let's hit a draw play. Let's throw him off for a second. Oof, getting nothing out of that. And that is the game. Player of the game, of course, going to Carmine Green with 4 catches for 166 yards, 3 touchdowns. Dean Smith dapped the man up for what he has done. Final score, the Bats 31, the Rebels 14. Though they made their adjustments at half, we still took the game and just ran with it. Let's go into the player stats and see how our guys did. Dean Smith, 14 for 19, amazing stat line with 306 yards, 2 touchdowns. Sadly, he did have those 2 interceptions. And Tobias Matthews coming in for that one play, getting 1 completion for 10 yards and a touchdown. Over to the rushing, Keontae Blue with 13 carries and 71 yards, as well as his first ever touchdown. Jackson Ellis still doing his thing, 5 carries for 28 yards. We need to get Franklin O'Hare more involved in this offense. Moving over to the receiving game, of course, our stud this game, Carmine Green, senior out of New Hampshire with 4 catches, 166 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And a big drop-off after that with Dennis Decker having 4 catches, 52 yards, and Trey Page with 4 catches, 60 yards. Still top 3 to have out. Blocking this game was amazing. We had 0 sacks on the QBs. DeMarcus Perkins with 3 pancakes, as well as Max McClure with 2, and Kramer with 1. Defensively, our most tackles on the team goes to Terrell Pace with 11, followed by Jarian Love at 9. But my man had 6.5 sacks with 7 tackles for loss. Jarian Love definitely got that ball for the defensive side. Noah Collins also having 9 tackles in the game. Last but not least, Taj Coles with 6 tackles and his 1 sack. But speaking of sacks, let's go ahead and check this out with, of course, Love having 6.5 sacks, followed by Kobe Garland and Deshaun Weeks with 1.5, closing it with Taj Coles getting his 1 sack. And we also had an interception on the game with Noah Collins getting that amazing 360 interception for us. That does it for our Week 3 game. We are 1-1 on the season. Let's return over to the hub and move on to Week 4. He has set the Baton Rouge single-game sacks record, of course, having 6.5. That is crazy just for anyone to break, not only a team with a 57 overall. That is it for this video. We are going to end it on the high note of winning our first ever game in the Baton Rouge Night School history. Next episode, we are going to start our conference play, taking on Jack State, as well as New Mexico and FIU. Continue to like, share, and subscribe. I've been loving the feedback I'm getting from you guys. I will be posting weekly videos, so look forward to that every week. But until then, guys, I'll catch y'all in the end zone.